He's vicious. The monster.
A fearsome flurry, and he's down.
Inoue has been whistling the knockout tune to all opponents for 12 years now, being the ambassador of death for them. After all, throughout his career, Inoue has sent numerous opponents into a shadow realm. And the one who will send this monster to rest in a Transylvania hotel has not yet been born. And in this video, we will tell you about how the little monster climbed the ladder of fame to the top of Olympus. It's boxing game. Here we go. The future menace was born in April 1993. His father, Singo, was a former boxer, and he dreamed that his son would follow in his footsteps, so he began to coach his son from an early age. That soon bore fruit, because there were no worthy opponents left for Inoue in his homeland. And so he decided to go from the sea of amateurs to the ocean of professional sharks, signing a contract with Ohashi Boxing Gym with the requirement that he would never be given weak opponents. His debut fight took place in October 2012. At that time, the Japanese Jack Reaper had just started his march in the light flyweight division, and he was immediately challenged by the Filipino champion Crisono Mayao with a record of 16-4. It seemed that the more experienced Omayao would crush the debutante who had just been hatched in the professional ring. But in the fight, Inoue began to prove that he was a force to be reckoned with. Justifying his fearsome nickname, the Monster, he delivered his punches as if with a sniper, but his shots hit Omayao's face instead of his ears. But Omayao, realizing that he was losing, decided to deliver a sneaky blow after the bell. Shocked by this despicable act, Inoue, like Gordon Ramsay, made rat foie gras out of the scoundrel's liver, thus declaring that the future king had begun his rise. The following years, Inoue delivered fatalities to 5 successive opponents, thus becoming a dark horse in the boxing world, for which he earned the right to a title fight. In April 2014, Inoue faced a new boss. The son of the Samurai Nation was making just his 6th appearance, and so it looked like Inoue didn't have a chance, as he was fighting Mexican Adrian Hernandez, who held the WBC title. The fight started, and it was not noticeable that Inoue had much less experience than Hernandez. On the contrary, it looked like the fighters had exchanged their statuses. Inoue delivered such a one-sided beating that it could seem that the champion did not win his belt, but bought it at a discount at Walmart. The little monster was like a boogeyman, terrifying the Mexican using all his arsenal of attacks. And already on the finishing line, Inoue began to crack Hernandez's head, like a squirrel cracks a nut, and then he simply forced the world champion to bend his knee, thereby winning the WBC belt. The The same year, Inoue moved up to junior bantamweight and also successfully defended the belt by brutally hammering his opponent, thereby earning him a ticket to the parade of violence, namely another title fight in which he could win the WBO belt. In 2014, on Christmas Eve, the stadium spectators witnessed a real boxing execution. It involved a young, newly crowned WBC champion, Inoue Naoya, and an Argentinian who was considered a former WBO champion, Omar Narvaez, who was able to make 27 successful title defenses. And it looked like Inoue would be the 28th. However, from the very beginning, the Japanese hitman started bombing hard with his high-speed missiles, which made the former champion fall on the canvas countless times. And in the second round, Inoue continued to hit combos on his opponent's head that led to a quick knockout, and further winning another WBO title. After spending the next 4 years defending his belts, Inoue was hungry for more gold, so he went on the hunt for another champion. On May 25, 2018, Inoue faced a boxer who was the WBA world champion, and who in his entire career of 30 wins and 2 losses was never once knocked out. And the name of this British monster was Jamie McDonnell.
Followed it up straight away as well, and Pozo's rattled. And he's hurt.
McDonnell knew that his opponent was also a monster in a human suit, and so he prepared even during the performance. However, Inoue recalled that a new episode of his favorite anime was coming out that day, so he was determined to send McDonnell into the world of Freddy Krueger before his due date. When the referee commanded the start, Inoue began to rush things so fast that it could have felt like he was rushing to a Black Friday sale. And just when the will to play was over, Inoue began to deliver a brutality combination that led to the first knockout of the Brit's career, and the addition of the WBA belt to Inoue's collection. In October of the same year, Inoue was invited to the World Boxing Super Series. This event would reveal who was the world's strongest lightweight, and on top of that came the Cup of the Great Muhammad Ali. The quarterfinals of the Super Series took place in October 2018. Then on the tournament grid, Inoue got against the Dominican Juan Carlos Payano. Just his presence on the Super Series roster already made him a dangerous opponent. After all, the fighters of this killer's convention were the best of the best, those who did not know their equals.
So here we go then.
The fight began, and Payano's attempt to show off his elite skills only made Inoue laugh.
Payano, competing in his 22nd professional bout tonight.
Inoue realized that even among such masters, he was out of reach. And so the Japanese Unicum decided to show that there were levels in this game, and that he was pumped to the max. The monster decided to show mercy, so he didn't prolong the poor guy's agony and sent him to the realm of Morpheus in just a minute.
And those who questioned whether he could carry it,
thus securing his ticket to the semi-finals with the best spot, namely inside the ring. The semi-final of the Super Series was on May 18, 2019, and this fight was going to be a real test for Inoue as he faced Emmanuel Rodriguez, who was the undefeated IBF world champion with a 19-0 record.
oh, the left hook. Oh, big punches to the head, and Balor's in a whole heap of trouble.
Combination of body shot, the second left, Rodriguez going for the finish. What a
However, in this fight, winning took a backseat for Inoue. His primary motivation was to avenge the disrespect shown to his father. This disrespect had occurred in the gym before the fight. Rodriguez's coach had cruelly pushed Inoue's father right in front of him, showing extreme disrespect. Then Inoue firmly decided that he would take revenge on this splinter master by brutally destroying his apprentice. And now the day of revenge had come, and Inoue, filled with the desire for revenge, decided not to let his emotions run wild, but to let his fists run wild.
Inoue from Japan in this.
But the fight began, but not in favor of Inoue. In fact, Rodriguez began to press hard. But the anger inside Inoue fed his strength, and so he already in the second round loaded his guns and began to bombard Rodriguez, completely eliminating his desire to resist.
For this fight, and he's got in two from Inoue. This is a fearsome flurry, and he's got him. Here is the first knockdown.
That was a great. That left hook was so good.
Inoue won and earned the IBF belt. Thus, he cruelly avenged the mean coach, giving his trainee the first unit in the defeat column. Then, after advancing to the finals of the Super Series, Inoue had no idea that this fight would be fatal for him, because no one had ever made him sweat so much in his victorious career. In November 2019, Inoue nearly lost his 0 in the loss column at the Super Series finale. Indeed, he faced the Filipino Nonito Donekable technique.
And a jab upstairs, so Donaire coming back, yes. And then Gabalio fired back.
Therefore, all the spectators expected a brutal fight.
Of a sublime career. In many ways, the man opposite him represents, but he's walking through them so far. Catches.
But Inoue is 0 in the loss column. Inoue won the World Boxing Super Series and captured the trophy of the great Muhammad Ali, proving once again that he had no equal yet. After winning the judge's decision, Inoue apparently thought it would be bad for his reputation, so he delivered 4 knockouts in a row. But 4 wasn't enough, so he went after his next victim. In December 2022, Inoue was just short of the WB because he is like an artificially grown mutant in which Roy Jones's speed and Mike Tyson's power were added. For the last 12 years, and to this day, the undefeated Japanese Reaper has been taking the souls of his opponents, and the near future does not plan to stop his crusade for belts. And in this video, we have told you about some of the most spectacular and significant early victories of the little monster. Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to learn about more cool fighters.